Welcome to Seeing with Your Soul, the podcast aimed to inspire you to find your voice and become the best, truest, and most authentic version of yourself. Spiritually intimate, soul-to-soul conversations, life-changing insights, and spiritual teaching and healing. Real, raw, unfiltered. Join your host, Tisha Michelle.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Seeing with Your Soul with me, Tisha Michelle, your host. So this episode is going to be a little bit different. And when I say different, I mean it's an episode that I produced back in 2019. And it's really just talking about, how we allow fear of the judgment of other people to really just hold us back, right? So I'm actually heading into my second retreat. And you guys know, if you've been listening to me for a while, where I really just talk about, I don't have a whole bunch of podcast episodes on deck. It's like when it hits me, like I'll go and record it. And while I was waiting for it to drop in, I just kept talking about the fear of judgment. And I was like, did I talk about this on a podcast before? And I really don't question the things that come to me. And just because I talked about it before, it doesn't mean that it's not relevant. What it means is that if you've actually listened to the episode before and you're listening to it now, it's because it circled back and this is something for you to look at within. And then we also have new people who you may have just started just fresh and didn't go back and listen. But at the end of the day, the message is for you. If you're here and you're listening to it, the message is for you. Then it was also interesting because this started reflecting in a couple of my last sessions where people were really just afraid of what, someone was getting ready to hire a nanny, right? She was going to hire a nanny and a live-in. And she was led to me to see if she was making the best decision. So it wasn't really up to, overall with that situation. It wasn't about the person she was hiring, is this the right person? She felt great about all of that. But what she was worried about was what other people were going to think about her because she did hire some help, right? So when you really think about it in your life, some of the things that you may be, afraid of are that there's this fear when you really analyze it. And if it comes up to it, that what you're actually afraid of is what other people are going to think or say about you, then this episode is definitely for you. It's really for you to really sit with it and understand that people are going to project their own insecurities, their own fears, their own doubts, their own beliefs onto you, right? They're going to project that onto you. So as much as they may say or do or whatever, it really has nothing to do with you and everything for them, everything to do with them. Right. If you want to, I talk about this in that, in an episode of, how I, have let, the fear of judgment of others stop me from just being who I am and being, and serving in that sense. And in actuality, I was really just holding myself back from what I was truly meant to do or meant to say or meant to be, just in general. So, yeah. So I wanted to just re-release this and, hopefully you it resonates and you'll get something out of it. However, I ain't going to leave y'all with no gratitude time. So we're going to still do our gratitude. So I would probably say in this present moment, I am grateful. You know what? I'll just really, really keep it in the present. I am grateful for another opportunity to host a retreat, right? If you've been listening to me for a while, you've heard me talk about how before I did my first retreat, it was on me for about a year and a half, and I was just ignoring it, and that was there. There was the doubts, the questions. I mean, is anybody going to really pay for this? Is anybody going to want to come? What am I going to teach them? What am I going to do? What are we going to do at the retreat? Are they going to have a good time? All those crazy thoughts that pop into the head, in our head. And then I offer the retreat. I get people to pay for it, to sign up. I'm like, yes, we're going to do this. And then COVID hits and I have to push it off to the next year, which ended up happening this year in May. So now here we are in August going into the second one that I'm hosting. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm just grateful for the people that are trusting in me, right? That are trusting in me. I mean, you gotta be trusting in people like you taking your time and your money. What? So I'm super grateful for that. And I can't wait to like share it. Obviously not sharing like their intimate stuff, but just the overall feelings and the sense around that. So yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. And I'm excited. And I'm excited. All right. So what are you guys grateful for? Right before we even express that gratitude, I just want you guys to get a little grounded. So I want you to go ahead, unless you're driving, gotta put that disclaimer out there, and take a nice deep breath. You're just gonna breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And so like another nice deep breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. One more, baby. One more. Relax, relax, relax. Nice deep breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Yes, 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 and yes. Doesn't that feel good? All right, what are you guys grateful for? Put me on pause, grab your journal, go on and just start writing, doing a word dump. What you grateful for? List it all. You can say it out loud, say it in your head, put one hand over your heart, one on your belly, lean into this gratitude and just express what you are grateful for in this present moment. Yes, 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 and yes. All right. Okay. So either this is going to be your first time listening to this or it's going to be your second time listening to this. Either way, enjoy this conversation that I have with all of you.
Hey there, I'm your host, Tisha Michelle, and welcome to #Certified, where you will leave enlightened, empowered, and inspired to live a life of authenticity. Let's go. Welcome back to #Certified. I'm your host, Tisha Michelle. So over the past year, maybe about a year and a half, whether it was working with my one-on-one clients, feedback that I would get on social media, or even just in like everyday conversations, I would always get like the same like statement or question, whatever you want to call it. People would say, I want to be more spiritual, but I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what that looks like. And then a few days ago, I posted a comment on someone's Facebook post about a book that they were reading. And then they responded and they said that they just started that book. And they asked me for a recommendation on a book. And I recommended Louise Hay's, You Can Heal Your Life. So that person responded back and said, that they would check that out. And then she proceeded to say that she was working on being a better person and she would love to like go to lunch and pick my brain. And, in that I felt that I was like, you know what, this is definitely like, for me, a confirmation that I'm definitely on the right path. So what I decided to do was finally get my butt in gear and provide something for those people who, were saying that they want to be more spiritual, but they don't know what to do. They don't even know what spirituality, what that even means. They just know that they are looking for something. So I went ahead and I am launching my spiritual growth one-on-one course. It's an online course. And it's 7 days, and it's going to be created on Facebook. So it'll be a private Facebook group, and it starts October 1st. I'm going to be live each day from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. So that way you can always catch up if you can't make it live. You're also going to receive daily posts. I'm even going to give you homework. Yes, homework. Once you enroll, you'll also receive a hypnosis audio and my gratitude journal. And what else is going to be in there? Yeah. Okay. So like I said, it's going to be 7 days. And what we're going to cover is day 1, what is spirituality? Day 2, intention, grounding, and meditation. Day 3, 7 main chakras. Day 4, spiritual practices, rituals, and divination tools. Also in these 7 days, twice during the live period, I'm actually going to do live readings for those that want to participate. Day 5, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. Day 6, limiting beliefs and our unique gifts. And we will close out day 7 with compassion, love, and forgiveness. So again, this is my Spiritual Growth 101 online course that will provide a foundation for you so that you're able to build off of there. If this sounds like it resonates with you and something that you would like to take a part of, I would love to have you join me. You can enroll at www.hashtagcertified.com, and yes, hashtag is spelled out. If it's something you think, is not for you, but you know someone that you think could benefit from it, great. Please share away with others. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about what's holding us back. So the other day, we're in Arizona, right? And we only have one car here, and my son had the car. So me and my daughter were just chilling, and I said, you know what? Let's go. Let's walk to the store. Now we've never walked anywhere here. We've always, drove everywhere, but the store and like the shopping center here is very, very close. So I said, you know what? Let's go walk to the store and let's explore and see what's over there. Stop, somewhere, get something to eat, and, let's just go. So we're walking and it's hot. So we're walking, and as we're crossing the street, I say to my daughter, I was like, wow, I can't believe we actually walk into the store. And she was like, what? She was like, I'm always walking. I was like, dude, you're 14. I was like, you're 14. I was like, you don't know how to drive and you don't have a car. That's the thing that they do. So, back in Richmond, that's what they would do. They would walk after school, they would walk to the Chick-fil-A or they would walk to the mall. So, she was used to that, right? I was like, so I said to her, yeah, I was like, this is crazy. I was like, I'll never do this in Richmond. And she was like, well, why wouldn't you do it? And I just got quiet and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm about to say this out loud. And I was like, I wouldn't walk in Richmond because I'd be afraid that somebody would see me walking. She's like, but why? And I'm like, again, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't walk in Richmond because I would be afraid that somebody would see me walking, and what would that person think? I know it sounds silly, right? Saying it out loud now is just like, what? Yeah. So, I proceeded to tell her that, yeah, there's a fear of what other people would think. If somebody see me walk into the store, what would they think? Would they be like, oh, wow, she doesn't have a car? I wonder what happened to her car. Like, oh, her car must have broke down and maybe she can't afford to get it fixed. Oh, wow. Or maybe, we'll look and be like, oh, I feel sorry for her that she has to walk to the store. And I was telling my daughter, I said, wow. I said, once again, making up all these stories of what somebody else would think. And then 2, why do I even care what anybody would think? So what if I didn't have a car and that's what they thought? Well, then that's the truth. I don't have a car. Or what if my car broke down and I didn't have the money to pay for it? Guess what? That would still be the truth if that's something that they were thinking, right? Or maybe they didn't even care. Maybe they absolutely didn't even care if they seen me walking. Who knows? But for me, I would never, no. I said, no, I wouldn't do this at home. And she's like, well, why are you, well, you're walking here now without a problem. And I say, yeah, because nobody knows me. Nobody in Arizona knows me. So if I'm walking across this street, and all these people are riding by, nobody knows me. Nobody. And I was telling her, I don't really know how to explain it other than the fact is nobody knows me. So it doesn't matter if they see me, but it absolutely matters that if I was in Richmond and I was walking to the store and someone seen me, I would just freak out and about die. And that is the dumbest thing ever. And I was so glad that my daughter asked me that question, because as much as I talk and I teach about being your authentic self, I'm a student every single day. I'm a student when I'm a teacher, because everything is through experience. And I personally believe that she needed to ask me that question, and she didn't know it on her conscious level. She needed to ask that question because there's still a lot of layers that I personally have to remove, and I have to not worry about what other people may think, because I, for one, know that people's perception of me is a reflection of them. So if someone seen me walking to the store and they instantly started to judge me, that has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with them. Because if you really take it back and really get deep, I'm blessed to have the health to even be able to walk to the store instead of worrying about what somebody else may think. So I want you to take a second and think about where at in your life that you're holding back from doing something out of fear, but the fear of what someone else may think. Yes. So that thing that just popped into your head, because whatever that is, I'm here to say, do it, do it, do it. Do not care what anybody else thinks. And I don't want to be like, oh, it's easier said, than done. But the reality is we have to stop letting fear win. Fear is holding us back from greatness. Fear is holding us back from being who we really are. Fear is holding us back from learning who we are and seeing like our gifts, our skills, our capability, because it goes deeper than just walking to the store. But for me, it was letting me know that there's things that I still wouldn't do because I'm worried about what someone else may think. But I personally know people who have a gift, and some of you that I know that are loyal listeners, you have a gift. We've had conversations, and you're afraid to put yourself out there because someone else may judge you, or you're thinking what somebody else may think. And again, I'm just here to tell you, let's put that aside. Let's test it. If there was multiple things that was coming up, pick one of them and just do it. Look and see if you want to validate what the story you made up in your head. Is it true? Let's test it out by putting the fear aside and stepping forward and doing whatever it is that thing is and see what happens. Are people going to judge you in life? Absolutely. Have you ever been on social media and say you're following one of your celebrities, right? You're an influencer, someone of that nature who has, tons of following and gets lots of, comments and stuff. So have you ever, seen that they post something you liked and maybe you even commented yourself, or maybe you look at their post and the first thing you do is you go check the comments, and you go and check the comments and there's all of these people bashing them, talking bad about them, judging them and saying all these things. And you'll be like, yo, that's so crazy. How are you on someone else's page taking your time to read their posts and then go and respond to their posts, being judgmental, being negative, just being crazy on their posts? And I know that each and every one of you have seen that and you thought to yourself, that's ridiculous. Well, that's the same thing, us worrying about what someone else is going to think about us, because that's the same thing. If we're doing something that we love, that we like, that is fun, is we just doing what it is that we got to do. We might have to walk to the store because we don't have a car, and someone takes their time to judge you, to talk about you, and not even offer advice, assistance, a helping hand, or any of that stuff. It's crazy to even care what that individual thinks about us. Just as it's as crazy as those people who go on to other people's social media posts and bash them. It's like, why are you following them? You know what I mean? Why are you following them to talk crap about them? But I'm saying all that to say is that there's always going to be someone that's going to judge us, who's really judging themselves. There's always going to be someone that's going to make up a story, about why we're walking. There's always going to be someone that's going to judge us for stepping out there and being bold and being courageous because they're not. But none of that matters. What truly matters is that we do whatever it is that we want to do, whatever it is. I'm here now in Arizona, and things are definitely different because I'm not as stable as I, previously was. So we're still learning everything. We're still just getting things situated. But I can honestly say that I feel the ultimate freedom here, the ultimate freedom. So I've been growing my hair. I cut all of my hair off a little over 2 years ago because it was really getting damaged and just broken off, and from having weaves and all of that stuff. So I cut it all off and no perms. So I've been natural for a little over 2 years, and I go to the same person, shout out to you, Ashley, and she's been taking care of my hair. So like I said, really no heat, no chemicals. I just keep it braided and I have a protective hairstyle, crochet. And I didn't get my hair done before I left for this, adventure. What I actually did was I went to the Dominicans and I got a wash and set, and they blew it out, and my hair is so long now, and I'm so happy. So then I went and just got two big braids or whatever. So now I'm out here. I don't have a hairstylist, and I really don't want to cheat on Ashley anyway because I'm loyal, right? So I'm out here and I took the braids out. But I've been forced to just do my own hair, whether it's just tie it up, whether it's just push it back, or whatever. But I've been so comfortable with just wearing my own hair. And that's huge for me, because I'm used to the braids and, the protective styles and all those things that's just kept me comfortable. And I'm out here bare. I don't have my nails done. I don't have my toenails painted. Those aren't the priorities for me right now. They are things that I would like to get done, but right now there's more important things. And, I still have to find a place and maybe get some recommendations or whatever, because I'll be taking my time and putting my money into them, right? But in the meantime, I'm being very resourceful. I did my own nails. I'm just doing my own hair. But the cool thing about it is I'm going out and about every day like that. And I feel so free. And again, it goes back to keeping up a certain appearance because you feel like you have to put on this appearance for everyone else. And here, being in Arizona, I'm really seeing how I'm doing so many firsts. And guys, I can tell you, it is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing to feel so free, to feel so authentic, to literally just live your life for you and not worry about what anybody else thinks or what is anybody else what story they're going to make up. Are people, looking at me like, why is her hair like that? Why doesn't she have her hair in braids? All those crazy things that we just make up inside of our head. And the reality is it's very tiring. It's super, super tiring. It's tiring having to, put a mask on and, to have all these different layers on because you want to put X, Y, and Z off. So one of the things that I do is I'm a tarot reader. So I read tarot and I read oracle cards. And one of the things that I've been wanting to do for a while was to start back with my YouTube channel. So I do have a YouTube channel. I don't even know what my name is. That's crazy. I guess you can probably just search Tisha Michelle. That's crazy. I got to get that together. Anyway, so I have a YouTube channel. And I want to now rebrand it and start doing my tarot picker cards. I do them in my private Facebook group, and I just started doing it on Instagram, and I'm getting some good responses. So I'm definitely going to keep that up. But now I want to take the picker cards to live and take them to YouTube and make these, there'll be pre-recorded videos where I do the pick a stack, pick 1, 2, or 3. And what I do is I channel and I deliver the message. So if you chose number 1, you can listen to number 1. 2, number 3, like that. So I've been telling my daughter every day, look, I need you to film. We're filming tomorrow. And each day keeps going and going and going. And she's like, you keep saying we're going to film. Like, when are we going to film? And I'm like, making all these excuses. And then I realized what the problem was. My hair was not done the way that I wanted it to be before I got on camera. And when I was sitting there in meditation, it was just hitting me that I'm holding back information that can help someone else because I'm worried about my hair. Let me say that again. I'm holding back information that can help someone else because I'm worried about my hair. How selfish is that? It's completely selfish. So I want you guys to think about that. What are you holding back? What gift are you holding back? What wisdom, what talent, what experiences are you holding back because you're afraid of what someone else may think? Again, I'm here to tell you, who cares what anybody thinks? And you know what? We all need to stop being selfish, completely stop being selfish, and step out there. Spread our message, spread our truth, whatever it may be, just do it. And when we start to shift it, and of course, I know better. I absolutely know better. I teach this every day. But again, I'm a student and I'm a teacher, and I'm going through experiences. So the more and more I teach, you guys and my clients and everyone, I'm teaching myself too. I'm talking to myself. I'm absolutely talking to myself. So it's definitely time for us to no longer be selfish and put whatever it is out there. And when we start to make that shift from all about us, the I thing, to how can I serve? This is where the path opens up so clear. This is where the confidence, steps out. And this is where we silence the ego, where we starve the ego and we feed our soul. is when we shifted from us to how can I be of service. So for me, with the YouTube, when doing the picker cards, I was really thinking about me. My hair wasn't done the way that I want it, and I'm gonna be on camera. So I'm not gonna, tap into the collective energy and deliver a message that may be the exact thing that that person needs at that exact moment for them to be able to step forward into their truth, because I was worried about me. And oh my God, what are people gonna think? Oh man. So what are they going to think if they, don't see my hair looking a certain way? That's just crazy. But I am happy to say that I will be launching those videos soon, as I did do the recording without my hair being the way that I would like for it to be. But I decided that I know that it wasn't about me. It was about you guys. Absolutely about being of service to other people and not worrying about what other people think about us. Because really and truly, it's actually none of our business. So again, I want you guys to take another second and really think about the different areas in your life, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, like who knows, but think about those areas where you know for a fact that you're holding back out of fear of what other people are thinking. And I want you to make a promise to yourself that you're going to put that aside and you're going to step out and you're going to be the best version of yourself and you're going to do whatever it is that thing is. Thank you guys so much for once again tuning in. I love each and every one of you, and I'm always sending you love, light, prosperity. If you need healing, just know that I'm over here channeling and sending that healing energy to you. And as always, I hope you have a great one on purpose. Until next time, bye. Thanks for tuning in to #certified. If anything resonated with you, I would love to continue the conversation. You can follow me on Instagram @itistisha. And if you want to be a part of the #certified tribe, you can join my Facebook group by going to the search tab and putting in #certified. My website is conversationswithtisha.com. As always, have a great one on purpose. Love you.
Thanks for tuning in to Seeing with Your Soul. If something you heard resonated with you, feel free to rate, review, and share with others. If you are looking to go deeper, you can connect with Tisha Michelle on Instagram @MindsetSlayer or visit www.healingalignglow.com.